Hello, hello, hello. This is Carmelita McElroy, your single mom motivator coach, and I am an author, speaker, certified life coach, and bully prevention facilitator. And I'm coming to you today. We have the Single Mom Success Series going on all this week. Every day, I'll come to you with some tips for single moms. Today, we're talking about raising and disciplining our children. Okay, and this may be a touchy subject to others because I'm not an expert. I'm just going to tell you what I went through from raising 8 children, 6 of my own, and going through teenage years, going through elementary years, even adulthood. So I'm just going to talk about what I know. And some people may not agree with how I do it. I'm not saying you have to, but some things that parents need to do, it needs to be universal. Okay, I just want to say that some of it needs to be universal, like manners. Teaching your children manners. Please, thank you, excuse me. That needs to be done universal, okay? First of all, let me just get to what we've been doing this week in our series. Number one, the first day was single mom, you are not alone. Because so many single moms feel like they're doing it on alone. They don't feel like they have any support. And a lot of times they don't, because I've been there when I didn't have any support. So that is true. Day 2 was healthy relationships. Watching who you are partnering with, that they love your children, like your children at least, that they're a good fit for you. They're not driving you crazy and stressing you out because that affects your children. So just healthy relationships. And you can look back on the other YouTubes that I've done this week and also on my Instagram and stuff. And that information will be at the bottom. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you can see whenever I'm releasing something. Also, yesterday we talked about get your finances right. You have to have your finances right. Whenever you have financial issues, it affects your attitude, how you feel, everything. You're frustrated, you're angry, you're depressed. All that affects you when your finances are right. So that's for everyone. But single moms, I'm talking to about how to get it together. Listen to my SoundCloud. I talked about that last night. And I'm going to do a SoundCloud for this one as well. Depends on, try to have what my time we have here. Okay, so raising and disciplining children. Number one thing, be consistent. You have to be consistent and show children stability, that you remain the same as far as disciplining. Okay, don't say you're going to be on punishment for 3 days and then let them off in one because you upset because they're mad. All right, I used to tell my kids, you're mad, get glad because you're on punishment. Okay, if they have to get a spanking, you're going to have to get a spanking. Some things cause for spanking, some things cause for punishment. Some kids you never have to spank or punish. Some kids, punishment works for them. You have to discipline kids differently. Everybody is different. I'm going to tell you though, them boys, you better get in that tail early or they're going to run you and they're going to be out in them streets. I'm just going to let you know that. I'm going to say it right off the bat, So that's just one thing I know. And I'm just trying to get this in here, for our time to be up. But this is stuff I discuss with my single mom success sessions. And I do it longer when I go into depth about it, what we do there. So another thing, set bedtimes for your children. And one thing I can't stand is a 4-year-old up at 12 midnight. You need to be in the bed no later than 9 o'clock. Okay? So setting bedtimes, putting some type of consistency in their life, teaching them that staying up late every night and partying is not it. Because that's what they doing. As D.L. Hughley used to say, taking no-nos and won't go to sleep. No, a bedtime. I had my first child in a bedtime at 8:30 from the time she was 3 months old. And after that, all my children, it was a bedtime, 8:30. Of course, it changed by the time they hit middle school and high school. But I'm saying for elementary, 8:30 is the bedtime. Sometimes I let them stay up to 9. Even now with my granddaughters, I let them stay up sometime till 9. But 8:30 is bedtime. I don't care if you don't go sleep. You going to lay down. You ought to be tired from the whole day. All these kids up running around, like they don't get no rest. And then I've worked in the schools. So I know kids who don't get rest. When they don't get rest, they don't function well. They don't do good in school. They're cranky. They stay in trouble because they're tired, especially on the school nights. Please send these kids to bed, okay? Know their friends. That is a must. Know who their friends are because those people influence them the most. I can always tell when my kids will be associating with someone who I wasn't going to approve of because their attitude would change, the things that we're doing would change, and I'll be letting them know. In this house, these rules don't apply. to these other people, but they apply to you in this house. We're going to show respect for each other. We're going to, you know, your boundaries, basically. And no matter how them other friends act with their bad attitudes and everything, don't bring it up in here, you know. And I'm a praying woman, so I was praying when I know they was around the wrong people. What's that name? Oh, okay. I'm going to lift them up in prayer because y'all about to not be friends. Whole lot of people I had to pray about and get up out of my kids' life. Because I'm like, no, devil, you're not going to have them and you're not going to use that person. Who they dating or whatever. I'm going to put their names up. And at first, I was like, no, you ain't going to be around them. But I realized the more you tell somebody not to be around someone, the more they're going to want to be around that person. So I started lifting their name up in prayer. And I tell you what, some people have gotten removed. I tell you that. God answers prayers, okay? Teach your kids about money. Schools ain't hardly doing it. So teach them about money. I had one high school that taught my kids about money. And they did the, oh my goodness, what's the guy's name? His name is on the end of my tongue, the university, financial and university. It'll come into me in a minute. But they went through that program with them and I was happy. Like, dang, they teaching them about money. That's good, finally. But that was like, 4 years ago? You know, so my older children didn't get that. And what I tried to teach them, seeing me as a single mom and struggling, my kids didn't think I knew about money. I knew about money. I just didn't have any to do anything with. What I did do, what you had, I struggled to have, I saved. But they was thinking more so about more money. You know, sometimes we didn't have money for things. Sometimes I had money, but I couldn't spend it on what they wanted me to spend it on because I had to pay bills. Or I had to make sure that if we needed for an emergency, I got to have this little savings stacked away here because we had no one to turn to. So, you know, you got to teach them about money. Teach them why you're making these decisions, why we can't go and just go splurge and buy Air Jordans and other things and go out to main event and doing the, explain to them why we can't do it right now, but we will, because I always did do it, but it might be later. Don't let your kids go over everyone's house. Please stop doing that, young people. Stop letting these kids go over everyone's house. You don't know what's going on in them people's house. Some of your relatives, your kids don't need to be at their house. Okay? They affect them too. Kids don't need to know everything. Stop letting these kids sit up in these living rooms and hearing you on the phone in the car and all of that. They don't need to know everything. They too grown as it is, and that's affected them. They can't be kids. They don't need to know everything, especially when what's going on with you and your husband or you and your boyfriend or whatever. Because I'm talking to single moms, but I'm talking to other people too. They don't need to know everything going on. Just because y'all got some friction going on, those kids don't need to know that they have so much to deal with. They don't need to deal with all that yelling and screaming and fighting and all this and that. They don't need to deal with it. They see it sometimes. It's gonna happen. But try to make sure that they don't know too much, Or if you and a father fight, just be like, hey, we don't get along, but we love you. Let them know that. So they don't have to feel like they got to pick sides, and everything. Also, have them in activities. You have to have them in some kind of activity. And I know activities are expensive, but find some free ones. Boys and Girls Club have them free. But of course, now it's not like when my older kids were younger. When they were younger, you could put them in the Boys and Girls Club, and they had hosted a lot of free stuff, but now, shoot, they only host like 20 kids, I found out. You know what I mean? Only have 20 they let go into the program for free. So, get them in activities and try to get them there early. Sign them up early for free swimming and baseball and basketball, whatever you can. And then some of them just try to find them. You can get somebody to sponsor them to be in it. But activities help your kids stay focused so much. Teach your kids about the importance of school. People always say school don't teach you nothing, school don't teach you nothing. But you know what school teaches you? Discipline. Because most people that I know who did not come to school never wanted to get there on time. And you know what? They're the sorriest employees. They can't get to work on time. They're trying to start a business. But if they never were disciplined to go to school, you cannot run a business. School, I tell my kids all the time when they tell me school don't teach you a lot, it doesn't. But you know what it did teach you? To get up early in the morning, to go to bed, to rest your body, to focus on something. It taught you that, and you need that in the workforce to know to get up to go to work every day and not calling out because you sick. Like you letting your kids say they're sick every other day. That's the type of employees they're going to be that take off sick all the time. So school does teach you discipline of how to do something and finish it. That's my thing. I tell them is finish it. And also respect. Teach your children to respect you, to respect their elders, not always like, I had a woman one time say, yeah, I went to school there too, and Miss So-and-so, she had an attitude, and I ain't like her. Why are you telling your child that? You don't need to tell your child that, because you probably was being disrespectful and bad, just like your child was. There are some teachers who are a trip, but you don't need to tell your kids that. You have a one-on-one with them, let them know, here, I know how you are. I didn't like you when you was in school with me, but you're not going to treat my child this way, because I know about you. My mama didn't know about you, but I know about you. You know what I'm saying? So, just don't be telling you. Teach your kids to respect people. It's going to be their win, not the other person's if they doing wrong. And teach them how to respect you. Now, you can voice your opinion and say what you need to say, but you're going to say it in a respectful way to me. If you get out of line with it, we're going to have a problem. So don't let your kids talk to you any kind of way and argue back and forth. No. We're not arguing back and forth. I'm the head in this house. So you want to argue with somebody, that means you got to get your own place. That's what that means. Okay? So teach them respect and respect their elders. Also, teach them about money. Teach them about savings. Show them that you save. Tell them how to save. Put money in the bank. That's teaching them. I'm going to put this money in the bank. Or when they want to get some. Okay, now they have the green light cards. So I gave my kids green light cards and my grandkids so that I can put money on those cards for them and they can learn how they can charge it. You only got so much money on there. So you're going to have to learn. You can't spend past your amount. So green light is a very good thing for kids to learn how to do that. Also, teach them about having dreams and goals and let them know it is attainable. I hate to see young people that think they're never attainable because I don't have the money. Yes, you could be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. You could be a songwriter, a singer. You could be in the movies. You can go toward those goals and help your children attain those goals that they want. If you see that it's a gift in them, help them attain it. Help them do what they need to do and get connection with the people who can help them get there. Let them know. Put down your goals. I ask kids now what you want to be. If they say they want to be 5 things, they can be anything you want to be. I know by the time they get in high school, it's going to narrow it down, but at least keep them dreaming. This one here. Tell them they're going to college when they're young. I know people always say, they don't need to go to college. Have them look forward to it. If they look forward to college, then they can finish high school. Okay? They may not go to college when they're in, but at least let them have that desire at a young age to know that means I have to finish elementary, finish middle school, and finish high school. Even if they don't go to college. But have them have something to look forward to and work toward. We're cutting so much stuff out because we're putting what happened in our life and how we didn't succeed and where we didn't get to. People used to get mad at me. Well, certain people got mad at me because my kids were talking about going to college in 4th grade. And they was like, let them be a kid. Why are you trying to talk to them about college already? And you know what? I raised 6 children. And that's when I'm graduated from high school and went to college, except my son who passed away before he could go to college. But they went to college and they did that. And a lot of them went on scholarships because I put it in them early. You got to work towards something. If they had got to high school and said, I don't want to go to college, I want to go to work, I would be okay with that because you know why? Because I know they know how to get up and go to a job every day. Because I taught it to them by letting my kids have perfect attendance almost all through whole school. Only time that they didn't have perfect attendance, we had some issues going on with our family, but I still made sure they went to school. They might not get there on time, but they got there, So, let them have a spiritual awareness. I know a lot of people, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in it. There is a God who we need to pray to. Prayer is a thing universal. People always pray and they just say they pray to different people. But have them have some kind of spiritual background. Even if you don't want it, give it to your children. Let them go get on the church bus if you don't want to go. At least they learn something. They can figure it out for themselves as they get older. But let them have something they can lean on and trust in and not just think there's no one out there. So give them some kind of spiritual background. I don't know how long this thing is last. Sometimes it'll cut you off. So I better probably get off of here. But those are just some of the things I wanted to talk about. And I hope that someone is listening, because we got to save our young people. They dying left and right. They don't know how to handle situations. They give up so quickly. We got to teach them to go forward. They can be an entrepreneur. They can do whatever they want in life. But you got to teach them the simple things of saving, making money, how to have respect for people, because you got to respect people to be in business. If you're a business owner and you don't respect people, no one wants to do business with you. All these things go for later on. I've seen people who can do hair, everything, but that attitude be wrong and they don't know how to talk. I'll be like, ooh, I can't come here. I don't like the way they acting, And the thing is, they may have some good clients and everything, but eventually, when somebody better comes along, they have a better atmosphere, that's where that person's going to go. So just know to be consistent with your children and show them stability. When you discipline, keep it that way. Discipline, and discipline all your children the same. And what I mean by the same is, if someone gets in trouble for a certain thing, everybody get in trouble for it. Now, okay, let me give you a perfect example so we don't get all messed up here. Just say your child stole something from the store and you gave them a whooping for stealing it from the store. That child may need a whooping for stealing it from the store. Another child may do it. You start talking to them and they boiling it. I'm sorry. Man, I need to whoop them. But you tell them, you're going to be on punishment. So don't let the other one get off on something and then not let the other one, be punished for it. So make sure that you're being consistent and they see that it's consistent. Last thing, I had rules on my refrigerator. My kids hated it in markers. That's what I wrote down. Whose dish day it was. Oh, chores. Give them stuff to do. I'm sick of people saying their house is nasty and they got grown kids. Well, not grown kids, but kids 9 and older living in the house and they talking about their house nasty or dirty. No, they need to clean up behind themselves. They are old enough to do that. So give them chores. I give kids chores at 3 years old. You make up your bed. I don't care if it's perfect, but you're going to start making up your bed. Eventually, you'll get there by the time you turn 5. And I may go in there and straighten it up a little bit. By 3 years old, I made them start making up their own bed. And I thought it was kind of cute, But teach them how to take care of their things. Put their shoes up. Hang their coat up. Teach them you got 1 day to wash the dishes this week. Teach them how to make them little ramen noodles in the microwave. You got to teach them something. Teach them how to throw them clothes in that washer and push the button on. Teach them these things. My kids thought I was so hard on them. But my thing was always in my mind, if something happened to me and my kids had to go stay with someone else, I never wanted my kids to be a burden on someone. Because I always thought, from looking at movies and stuff, you take stuff in, I never want nobody to mistreat my children. So if they had a mind to do things for themselves, they're not going to let that happen. They're going to know how to get away, or they know how to get out here and hustle and take care of themselves. And you got to put that in your mind. You got to raise this child. So if something happened to you, you don't want nobody to mistreat them. And if they know how to take care of themselves, clean for themselves, do little things, that's going to make it easier for them if they have to go stay with someone else. Okay, so that's just for somebody out there who need to hear it. But subscribe to the channel. I put all my information at the bottom there. I got some great things coming out. My webinar for how to write your first book is coming out soon. I'm doing a session here in Kansas City, Missouri. Once I do my session, then it'll be released on the webinar, because I've not decided if I'm going to sit and do a full webinar or I'm going to record the session here and put it out there. So just be looking forward to that. For those who want to be authors and need to know how to do it, I'm getting ready to release that. Okay. So as I always say, expect it, believe it, receive it. God bless.